Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's tech training with Advisicon Nonprofit. We're happy to share with you today some tips and tricks to improve your Microsoft Word documents, especially with templates, themes, and styles. So let's get into it today. My name is Sean. I'll be your presenter today. I have a background in math education, and what that really means is I have a lot of problems. A good thing for everyone is that I enjoy problem solving, and especially using technology as our problem-solving tools. I do have experience in managing projects where we use Microsoft 365 tools as the solutions. I'm a Microsoft certified professional in Teams administration. I've been teaching for nearly 10 years, and I really do enjoy shining just a little light and just how much more you can see, how much more can be done when you have just a little more knowledge, just a little more light shown in your world. I also do have certifications in Microsoft Project and SharePoint. But our topic today is Microsoft Word. With Advisicon, our mission is to deliver technology, tools, and training, and so that's to help you maximize your impact, productivity, and purpose. We're going to talk about why are templates beneficial? Why should I use a template in my organization? I'm sure you can already think of a few reasons, but we'll lay them out for us. Furthermore, these words often seem interchangeable. Templates, styles, themes. What's the difference? I know I was unsure of that when I first heard of these things, so we'll unpack them a little more, give meaning to these words so that when you think of them, you can think of certain categories, certain items that come attached with them. And then, yes, we will build a template together. And maybe that's a technique you can use to already start improving the way you do what you do. As we get started today, I want you to think of what kind of templates is your organization using? Are there documents that you are repeatedly building from scratch so that at the end of today, you can already start to apply these new skills and hopefully relieve a pain point of, oh, I have to always rebuild this from the ground up. Well, hopefully no more, and with a little more professionalism, a little more customization, tailored to your organization. So to start off, I want us to get all on the same page of what is a template. We all have different ideas of what a template might be, and I just love the definition of it. So it says a preset format for a document or file. The keyword there is preset. It's already there for you, and yes, we will talk about formatting. It's used so that the format does not have to be recreated each time it is used. As I mentioned, I do enjoy problem solving using technology, and technology can be used as a placeholder of information so that you have the format. You don't have to recreate it each time. And boy, wouldn't that just improve our productivity. 4 traits that I think are beneficial when you create a template already impacting your organization. You increase productivity, you increase quality, right? You have set your template, and now you're going to deliver that consistent quality every time. Of course, you increase accuracy. Maybe you don't have to manually enter your address, your phone number. It's already there. It's more accurate information delivered. And this one is the big one, automation. When you implement automation, you reduce errors, you improve productivity, you have quicker process times, aka productivity, and you do cut costs. What used to maybe take an hour, you can now do it in 45 minutes, or maybe even half an hour, because you have a set template for your document, whatever that document might be. And a big one, as an organization, an organization isn't just what you do, it's the people who do what you do. And so your people, your organization has an improved morale. Oh, I have an easier workflow. I can still be impactful without having to do such rote tasks. I can do something meaningful and in quicker time. So this is why, if you haven't already adopted templates or not sure, definitely this is why we should be using templates in our organization. Right, let's unpack these words. What is a template versus a style versus a theme, and especially in the realm of Microsoft Word. Here's a little hierarchy chart. And at the top, you have templates. And templates, as we said in our definition, it's a preset format that's used so you don't have to recreate it each time. But there's two sides of templates that Microsoft uses, two areas that help make templates, that help compose templates. The first one is themes. You'll definitely want to see it, and as we do a live demo in Microsoft Word. But themes control specifically colors and fonts. Also, themes don't just apply to Microsoft Word, they apply to these Microsoft 365 tools, such as Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Now, why might that be helpful as an organization? Well, you now have consistent colors, your branding, and fonts across all your type of front-facing documents. So when you present in PowerPoint, when you deliver your reports in Word, or when you use Excel to create your graphs, your data output, it's all consistent with your brand, themes, and fonts. So that's where you will do that in themes. Shifting over to the right side in styles, styles control, especially formatting, right? That's the big thing styles will do is format. Now, when you think of format, you should think of your BIU, right? Bold, italics, and underline. Also, Microsoft being a technology tool can store data on repeatable parts. And think about in your document, is there something you have to repeatedly enter? Well, maybe no more. Maybe we just use a one-time creation and we repeatedly use that instead of having to type it out over and over again. So that comes in styles. I also want to highlight that there's two types of styles, or actually I should take it back. There's 5 types of styles. We're going to focus on just 2 of them. Templates, themes, and styles is very deep topic. I want to get you something that you can use today, start making an impact in your organization. So I want to highlight that there's 2 basic types, those being character and paragraph. Now, character refers to the characters, the A, B, C, D, E's, and what are you going to do with them? Well, you're going to choose a font, you're going to choose a font color, and you're going to style it, meaning italics, bolds, and even shading. And I'll show you how to do that. Paragraph refers to like spacing. Is your spacing very tight? Is it just one? Is it double spaced? Are you going to include indents? For a certain type of style, you can say, every time I select this style, it should be indented 1. It should be indented 2. That can be done preset. You can create a preset style to do that. So just to review, templates are composed of themes and styles. Themes control colors and fonts. Styles, more of the format. All right, it is now time to build a template. Here we are in a Microsoft Word document. Now, I have some preset, some things already put in place. Thinking of the idea that maybe you have a document that you repeatedly use, but how can we improve it just a little more so that we don't have to do so much manual labor, that some of the processes are automated, so that we can quickly improve our productivity. We don't have to click every single field to make a change. All right, to get started, let's start with our logo. You can set your company logo. That already improves the look and feel of your document. Definitely makes it consistent. So my company today is called Nimble Monster, and that's the logo there. Okay, so now I'm going to have a consistent logo. I may even want to control the size and say every time this logo used, it's 1.5, for example. So I can set the size there. Next, let's apply a theme. Themes are found under the Design tab. There are preset themes that come with Microsoft, and I want you to watch what happens down here as I hover over different themes. The colors and fonts change. Remember, that's what themes are. They control colors and fonts. So Microsoft has some preset packs, and maybe you want to use one for a one-off, and that's fine. But remember, we're trying to help your organization improve its purpose and productivity and impact. So you want your colors to be out there. So here on the right, here's where we can set a theme, where we can create a color scheme. So you would come down here and customize your colors. Now, hopefully, you've already determined your branding colors, and you can come into this section here and just type in the hex numbers. And maybe if you're developing it, take some time to really, pick the right colors that match your organization. I've gone ahead and created a custom theme, color theme already here. Now, did you see that the colors change to already match my theme? So that's the consistent colors scheme already implementing because I chose a theme. Secondly, I can choose a font. These fonts are consistent with the themes mentioned here earlier, but I've created a company font and said, or a font set and said, now I want to use that. Okay, so already I'm starting to be more consistent, more looking like my brand. Next, I want to implement a style. I come back to the Home tab, and here's where we find styles. There are many styles already in place, but what you notice is that they're more already consistent with my color scheme. The first thing I want to do is amend headings. Most times in documents, you're going to have a heading. And if you look right now, what is the style attached to this, what I call a heading? Well, it's normal. And so is this, the part where I type. And that's just going to make it more manual labor if I have to change this and change this, or if I set this as one type of color and font size, and then manually change this. So let's automate that. Let's make it easier for us. So I'm going to start here and say, what do I want my headings to look like? Well, right now it's size 14. Is that the right size for me? Okay, yeah, I'll keep it at 14. Then what else do I want to change? Well, I like the colors to stand out a little more. So let's add a color. But are these colors brand consistent? Yes, they are. Adding a theme already, I have colors to choose from that match my brand. So I'll add that there. Now, notice it still says that it's a normal style text here. Well, here's what I can do. I can go over to heading, or I can highlight this, right-click on heading, and say, whatever I have done here, make that the format for heading 1. And I just click there. That's changed. And now heading 1 is understood to be whatever I did here. So let's go through and change all the headings just by clicking heading 1. Obviously, if you set this up beforehand, you don't have to do as much manual labor as I'm doing right now. But you can see how quickly I can change these headings to be consistent font size, consistent color. All right, I still want to do a little more editing with that heading. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to right-click on this heading, and let's modify it. You could change the name. You can make it, your company heading 1. The style-based means what is it attached to? If I change this, it will impact my my new style. Also, this is interesting. Style for following paragraph. So after you're done typing and then you hit enter, what style should be used next? Most likely you want to go back to normal. But if you know that you want to keep using heading 1 after you've done heading 1, you could change it to heading 1. I'm going to keep it as normal. Here on the bottom where it says format, this is where the magic happens. I want to add a shading across these headings. It just makes it look a little more professional, a little break in the flow of the document so that the eye can chunk or say right here, I'm only going to look at this information right here. You tell the reader where to look, and the reader doesn't have to digest everything all at once. It can look at just this section. So you're helping your reader just a little more. I'm going to pick a shading fill, and let's pick this fill. You get a preview of it here. Click OK. A preview of it there, and click OK. And did you see all my headings now are updated? I don't have to manually update heading by heading. That is already done. Next, I want to, let's create a style. For example, maybe your instructions need to stand out a little more. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come down and say, create a style. In fact, I'm going to click off there. All right, our new style, it's called instructions. Whenever I type instructions, I'm going to give it a whole unique style unto itself. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. OK, so there's the instructions. Now I'm going to modify it. Again, do you want to call it instructions? Was it based on? And after I'm done with instructions, let's go back to normal. Okay, come down here to the format. And I'm going to shade it a bright color. Let's make it stand out. Also, I'm going to give it a border. I really want to make sure you read these instructions. Okay, does that look good? All right, so now I have my instructions style. I'll highlight the section that I want to apply it to and apply. Boy, that really is going to stand out, isn't it? What about another section here that I'm going to base on instructions? I'm going to say, please only include items more than 5% behind schedule. All right. Well, now as I look at it some more, that font really is huge. And, you know, that yellow color, it just isn't my brand. So I don't have to go section by section. I just modify in the instructions. Let's bring the size down to something not so attention grabbing. And that color again, let's change it to be something within my brand. And let's just, you know, give it a light gray. Yeah, that seems more my style, more my brand. All right, next section. You can include, you know, obviously you have to build your chart, but you can keep a chart as a default, or always have a chart there. And what you can do is edit the chart right here. So I go up to Chart Design, and I say Edit Data. And I'm just going to edit the data right here. So maybe this is a report, and this next week, my data is different. Or maybe I have a new series to add. So I'll just add Series 4. And I'll just plug in some numbers. Let's say there's a downward trend, so it's going 1.8 now. Here, it's up and downing, so let's be consistent with that. Here, up and down. Oh, and then here, it's going off the chart. We got a 6 now. So did you already see that this is already updated? So keeping a chart in your template is can be helpful. All you have to do is just edit right within your right here within Microsoft. You don't need to implement a new chart. Next thing, let's look at the tables here. For me, I like the tables to stand out a little. You know, you've put the work into it. Let's make sure people don't just gloss over it. So I'm going to highlight the table, and I'm going to go up to Table Design. Microsoft has preset styles for your tables, but because I've implemented a theme, my colors are brand consistent now. So I can pick something that looks just my style. And I can do that for both or all my tables. Okay, you see, just that little bit of work of implementing the theme saves you a lot of extra work afterwards. All right, next, I want to look at something called field codes. If you've ever used a field code, it's a It's like metadata. It's data already within the Microsoft document that can then just be tapped on. Let me show you an example. Project manager. I want the project manager, whoever is doing writing this report, Microsoft already knows their name because they are signed in. So let's insert a quick part. Okay, where does this come from? Insert quick part and come down to field. There's a lot of information right here, dates, and actually a whole lot more, hundreds more. But I want to pull in document information, something that is already in this document, and that being the author. Right? I'm the one who's writing this, who's editing this. And let's use, it can all be upper cases, all lower cases. I'm going to use title case. And look, my name's right there. Let's do dates. There's many ways you could insert dates. You could do it just the same way I did with field and go into date and look at the various formats. Notice there are different calendars you could pull in. And let's just pick something that looks like that. And there is my date. All right. I don't have to type it. Date is already picked. There are different ways to implement, to put in dates. So field code is one way. There's another way, excuse me, where you use the developer tab. Now, if you don't have this turned on, you need to do that in the behind the scenes, the backstage of Microsoft Word. Now, here in developer, I have these choices in the middle, and I'm going to pick the date picker. I click that there, and now it says click or tap to enter a date. So anytime someone comes in and uses my template that I have here, all they have to do is pick the date. Usually, you're doing the report on the day. So here's the date. I could copy that into other date fields that I would like to use. There we go. So now I can change the reporting period. This is actually for last week, last Monday through Friday. So now I've saved a lot of time just by using some fields that are already built in with Microsoft. And again, we're building a template, something that can be used over and over. And all you have to do is just make a few simple choices and not have to necessarily use all that time to manually enter. All right, I've got a few more fields that I'd like to show you just to improve a little more professionalism in your document. One being insert a footer. If you've never known how do you get that number on the bottom, it's here, insert footer. Now, there's a lot of things you could insert in a footer. An easy one, so let's actually, let's just say blank. Okay, so what do we want to go there? I'm going to insert, and if you've never known how to do it, how to do this, I'm going to insert a field. And the field I want is, I want page numbers. Now, you would think to look for page, but it's actually number of page. Insert page numbers. Next thing, what about a header? Maybe we want something, just a little reminder that this is my brand, my document. So I'm going to type Nimble Monster, and I want to try another field code, something already present in the document. And that being the file name. Whatever I title this Microsoft Word, let's use that as the file name. I don't have to re-enter it. Make sure it's title case. And there it is, document 9, document 9. Okay, that's consistent, right? Well, let's update it. Now, I can't leave it as document 9. I have to give it a title. So let's save it. And I'm going to give it the title of Project Report 2022, for example. and I'm going to save it. All right, there's the title. But wait, this didn't update. The trick to get that to update is you highlight it, or in this case, just click it once, because it's a field code, and you press F9, and that updates it. So there's a little trick for you. You have these fields already set, you just press F9. Now, that worked with this one because I highlighted it. If you want all your field codes to update, you would have to Control A or select them all. And anything that's a field code that needs updating, now you press F9 and it'll update. Obviously, these won't update because I'm in the same document with me as the author. So there's an idea of how you can still update with field codes, just pressing F9, but make sure you're highlighted on it. All right, we've added a lot of fields and customized our document. Are we happy with this formatting? Let's check the spacing. I think I'd like a space there. Let's maybe make this a little smaller so that all my fields fit on one page. Maybe my headings are too big. Let's change the headings down to 13. Did I get everything? Not yet. I'm going to make maybe the table smaller, just putting the finishing touches so that I have the template that I would like to use over and over. Now, there are more elegant ways to do this. I'll show you real quick. You just right-click in your table, and you go to Table Properties. And I want to control the width of the column. And here I can go to the next column, and maybe I want nice round numbers. So let's say 2.3 there. Go back in. And for this column, let's just make it an even 1. I need to stay in there. Stop clicking out of it. And with this one, let's make it an even 1, and just press the next column, and it'll go over. 1.3, and approval. We just need initials there, so let's make that even smaller. 1.6. Okay, now I've got everything on one page. All right, now where the magic happens. How do I get this so that I don't have a repeatedly, or someone that can edit the document and mess up the way things are? Now, there are very elegant ways to control the securities of the document, but I'm just going to do just this general template saving. And that, for the most part, should work for your organization. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. Let's just save it to my documents. And I'm going to call it Project Report 2022. But I'm going to add some more wording to say, so that everyone knows this is the template. And it just jumps out a little more, helps your searches as well if you want to look for templates. And I'm going to call this a Word template. There are other forms of templates if you have macros enabled or if you're using a previous version, but I'm going to use Word template. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but what happened here is it jumped to my template center. It's saying, hey, this is where you save your templates. So something very smart and intelligent by Windows here, but I'm just going to keep it in my desktop. Okay, Project Report 2022 template. And I'm going to save it. Okay, there is my template. Now I want to show you what can be done with your template as far as what is going to look like when someone opens it for the first time. Okay, so this is the template we just saved. If I double click on it, what opens it's a template of my document. And there's the title updated, but notice it didn't open the template itself, and this will preserve the format you've already put in, all that hard work you put into your template creation. So that was just by double-clicking on it. But what if I do need to modify the template? You just hover over it, right-click, and just click Open. So don't double-click on it the usual ways you want to open it. Right-click on it and say, hey, let me open this and examine it. And it opened there. So there's our document already saved. Hopefully that was a helpful tutorial of how to build a template. Think about what kind of template your organization uses, whether it's reports or client intake, contracts and agreements, or even a newsletter, something you do consistently, repeatedly. Think about applying a template to your documents. Thank you for joining us for today's tech training. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at advisicon.com or reach out to us via one of our social media outlets. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you in the next training.